विद्या और ज्ञान का केंद्र मैत्रेयी कॉलेज चाणक्यपुरी में स्थित दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का एक प्रतिष्ठित कॉलेज। खूबसूरत आकर्षक कैंपस, न जाने कितनी सुनहरी मीठी यादें अपने अंदर संजो कर बैठा है। मैत्रेयी कॉलेज के लिए यह वर्ष बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है।
The role of an institution is to provide an environment that is based on strong academic principles that facilitates the collaborative and creative learning for all the students. And it has been possible all because of our committed teachers, very supportive administrative and technical staff, and above all, our gifted students.
हर वर्ग और जाति, भिन्न भिन्न प्रांतों और यहाँ तक कि विदेशों से भी छात्राएं मैत्रेयी कॉलेज में एडमिशन लेती हैं। हमारा उद्देश्य इन छात्राओं को ह्यूमैनिटीज, साइंस या कॉमर्स कोर्सेज में अंडर ग्रेजुएट लेवल की केवल डिग्रीज दिलवाने तक सीमित नहीं, बल्कि उनके सशक्त व्यक्तित्व का निर्माण एवं समाज व राष्ट्र में सशक्त भूमिका निभाने के लिए उन्हें प्रेरित करना है। और हम गर्व के साथ कह सकते हैं कि मैत्रेयी समुदाय ने मैत्रेयी नाम के गौरव को वर्तमान तक कायम रखा हुआ है। मैत्रेयी वैदिक काल की प्रसिद्ध विदुषी और ऋषि याज्ञवल्क्य की पत्नी थी। अपने जीवन में मैत्रेयी ने सांसारिक संपत्ति की तुलना में ज्ञान के चयन को प्राथमिकता दी थी। वो ब्रह्मवादिनी थी। मैत्रेयी समुदाय ब्रह्मवादिनी मैत्रेयी के जीवन आदर्श को सर्वोपरि मानकर उसके साथ प्रतिबद्ध है। विद्यार्थियों में ज्ञान की लौ प्रज्वलित करना हमारा उद्देश्य है। मैत्रेयी कॉलेज से शिक्षा पाकर हमारी भूतपूर्व छात्राएं एजुकेशन, म्यूजिक, डांस, स्पोर्ट्स, टीवी चैनल्स, बॉलीवुड, इंडियन आर्मी, एयरफोर्स, यहाँ तक कि विदेशों में भी विभिन्न सम्मानजनक पदों पर नियुक्त हैं। हमें गर्व है छात्राओं की महत्वपूर्ण उपलब्धियों पर। इन्हीं के फलस्वरूप मैत्रेयी कॉलेज आज राष्ट्रीय, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर विकास और सफलता की नई नई ऊंचाइयां छू रहा है।
I want to thank Maitreyi College for giving me the Distinguished Alumni Award. I feel so honored to have received this award, and it means so much to me. Maitreyi College gave me both the foundation and the momentum to build my career. At present, I live near San Francisco, California, and I'm the president and CEO.
Good morning to all the esteemed dignitaries, wonderful guests, respected faculty colleagues, dear students, and all the wonderful participants who have joined us today on the college YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to have all of you here amongst us. On behalf of Maitreyi College, I extend to all of you a very warm welcome to Equinox 2025, the 5th Annual International Conference organized by the Center for Research, ACPG and IQAC under the aegis of Vantage, Journal of Thematic Analysis. May I invite all of you to please join me in applauding the efforts. Maitreyi College, as many of you know, was established in 1967. Over the decades, it has evolved into one of the leading institutions of the University of Delhi, renowned for its academic excellence, innovation, and the holistic development of its students. Rooted in tradition, yet forward-looking, the college has consistently nurtured scholarship and creativity, with its students and staff making meaningful contributions across diverse fields. Equinox, our flagship international conference, exemplifies this culture. This year, our theme, Mind and Machines, Interdisciplinary Reflections on Science, Society and Ethics, invites us to pause and consider the intersection of human consciousness and technological progress. It explores not only what machines are capable of, but also what they ought to do and how society must respond to the ethical challenges of our times. To start today's proceedings on an auspicious note, may I now request everyone to please rise for the University Kulgeet, followed by the Maitreyi College Kulgeet.
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम श्रेष्ठ सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम सकल वसुधा निज कुटुंब की भावना संस्कृति सनातन आधुनिक शिक्षा पुरातन ज्ञान धाराओं का संगम देश की स्वाधीनता है भूमिका शतकोटि वंदन निष्ठा धृति सत्यम के मंगल दिव्य भावों का समागम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम भव्य महाविद्यालयों के परिसरों से चिर सुशोभित श्रेष्ठ गुरुजन कर रहे नित छात्र और छात्राएं दीक्षित सदचरित्राचार पावन साधना संकल्प संयम नवल वैश्विक चेतना नव क्रांति संस्कारों का उद्गम जयति जय जय
Thank you to everyone. You may please take your seat. Thank you also to Riaz, the Indian Music Society of Maitreyi College. Light has long been a symbol of wisdom, clarity, and inspiration in our tradition. Therefore, I invite our esteemed dignitaries to please join us for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, accompanied by a verse from Brihad Aranyat Upanishad, Om Astu Ma Sadgame. It's going to be recited by the student members of Riaz, and it signifies the dispelling of ignorance and illumination of knowledge. I request the student volunteers to please turn off the fan.
ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया ॐ शान्ति 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 असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया ॐ शान्ति 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 असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया ॐ शान्ति 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 असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
Thank you so much, Riaz. I request our dignitaries to please grace the dais. That was a truly soulful rendition, and taking the session forward, I now kindly request our guest of honor, Chairperson Governing Body, Professor Jagreet Kaur, to please do the honor of welcoming our esteemed chief guest, Professor P.B. Sharma. May I please request, ma'am, to please felicitate our esteemed chief guest, Professor P.B. Sharma, and a big round of applause from everyone, please.
Recording in progress.
I also request our Vice Principal Ma'am, Dr. Jyoti Singh, to do the honor of felicitating our guest of honor, Professor Jagreet Kaur. I now warmly invite our respected Vice Principal, Professor Jyoti Singh, to please deliver the welcome address.
Namaskar. Namaskar and a very good morning to all in one present here, and also to all the distinguished guests, participants who have joined virtually. I extend a very warm welcome to our respected Chief Guest, Professor P.V. Sharma ji, Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Gurgaon, and Founder Vice Chancellor, DTU Delhi. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation, sir. I take this opportunity to welcome our guest of honor, Honorable Chairperson, ma'am, Professor Kaur ji. Thank you, ma'am, for your support and guidance always. I also extend welcome to conference conveners, Professor Gopi Devidar Tripathi, Professor Bratiti Roy, and Professor Meena Yadav. It is indeed an honor for Maitreyi College to hear from a galaxy of eminent speakers. On the behalf of Maitreyi College, I extend a warm welcome to all the esteemed guests, faculty members, dear students, and all the participants. I welcome you all to the inaugural session of EQUINOX-2025, Annual International Conference of Maitreyi College. Today, it is not only the beginning of the 5th edition of this academic celebration, but also a reaffirmation of the values that define our institution. Our college was established in 1967, and it derives its name from the great Vedic Vidushi Maitreyi. She is often cited as an example of women empowerment during ancient times, where knowledge was reflected as a supreme power, and that is why the logo of our college, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, also reflects the same. Our logo conveys that true knowledge will lead to spirituality. But knowledge should not be remain confined to the books or the classrooms. It must be tested, experienced. We should be able to solve our real-life problems and give back to the society. With this vision to engage and have constructive deliberations, back in 2017, our college established its Center for Research, a nodal center to foster curiosity, encourage critical thinking, and to do analysis to ask meaningful questions. I'm happy to share that more than 400 projects have been completed in last 8 years, and thus Center for Research is making significant contributions in the field of research. Keeping this spirit in mind, in 2021 we launched our very own annual international conference, Equinox. Since then, every year for the last 4 years, Equinox has brought together scholars, practitioners, and students to deliberate on carefully chosen theme. Each theme has opened new windows of thoughts, allowing us to examine issues from multiple disciplines. This multidisciplinary approach is further reinforced by our academic journal Vantage, the Journal of Thematic Analysis. Both the journal and the conference share a common goal. In a very short span of time, our journal has progressed a lot. It has reached an H-index of 5 and has been cited 160 times in last 5 years. So this growth is quite an immense achievement for us. This year, the theme of Equinox 2025 is both timely and thought-provoking. Minds and Machines, Interdisciplinary Reflections on Science and Society. As we all witness, mechanization and artificial intelligence are now shaping our science, our society, and even the ethics by which we live. Over the next 3 days, we will explore these pressing questions about the role of technologies transforming our lives, the responsibilities that accompany these advancements, and the kind of future we as a global community envisioning for the coming generations. I would like to add here that this year we have received an overwhelming response. We have received 73 abstracts from different parts of India and also abroad. I'm also thankful to Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, which is now named as Anusandhan National Research Fund, India, for funding our conference and providing academicians an opportunity to deliberate on such an important theme. I am confident that this conference will offer you not just the knowledge, but also food for thought, inspiration, and new research questions that will shape your journey ahead. Thank you once again, and I wish you a fruitful and engaging conference ahead. Thank you very much.
I guess I am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful words and for giving such a detailed and wonderful overview of the... I think the audience. It gives me great pleasure now to warmly invite our guest of honor, respected Professor Amarjeet Kulgeet, Chairperson of the Governing Body at Maitreyi College, to kindly address the gathering.
Very good morning. A very good morning to everyone. I see curious minds here who are really interested in figuring out how the mind works. Mind has been one of the most, curious that we have so far studied. And it has been a subject of interest for not just biologists, neurobiologists, psychologists, in each one of us. It's connected to every one of us, right? But now today we are at a junction where we are talking about mind and machine. It's very interesting. And I think the theme of this conference, Equinox, which has been an international conference every year, and the fifth one that we are having today, a very active topic, that is minds and machines and interdisciplinary reflections on both science, ethics, society. Now actually Aristotle at one time said, what we think, we are that, right? So now what one mind thinks, society will become the similar. So now there's a great responsibility that, right, on how we want to make a society, how we want to make these machines. Now we are at a junction where we are talking about competing natural intelligence with artificial intelligence, and this is a very interesting topic because we are all, some way or the other, artificial intelligence is touching our lives. So it is now very important to figure out with great knowledge about artificial intelligence, how humans think, it becomes more important that we have the responsibility to think about how we want our society to be built up with these machines and how responsibly we can shape the future. So with this, I would like to welcome all of the line of speakers and our very honored and very accomplished guest, who is Professor P.B. Sharma, who has achieved a lot. He is the one who has done a lot of work on machines, and now he's also looking at putting together the mind and the machine, how the two can be brought together. So with this, I would welcome you all to the conference, and I hope in the next days there are good discussions, and the curiosity deepens further for how do we develop our society with these new machines, with artificial intelligence and so forth. Thank you very much, and welcome once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. By beautifully citing Aristotle while talking about artificial intelligence, Professor Jagjit Kaur has brought in interdisciplinarity into the inaugural session today, and this is exactly what we basically strive to achieve through Equinox. Moving forward, I now invite Dr. Gopi Devdutt Tripathi to please welcome the gathering on behalf of the conveners of Equinox 2025.
Good morning. Namaskar and warm greetings to all from the conveners of Equinox, Professor Brautati Roy, Professor Meena Yadav, Professor Pinky Bajaj Gandhi and myself. Heartiest welcome to the 5th edition of Equinox 2025, the annual international conference organized by the Center for Research, Maitreyi College, University of Delhi, under the aegis of Vantage Journal of Thematic Analysis. I'll say a word about the name of the conference. The word equinox referring to that time of the year when sun is above the equator and day and night are of equal length. To us, it stands for enlightenment and pursuit of knowledge through dialogue. So this conference is a platform where thinking minds from diverse fields come together in a dialogue on a theme, exploring its many layers. The endeavor is to foster critical thinking, practices of ethics and reflexivity, not only in academics but in every sphere of our lives. This year the theme, as we know, is Minds and Machine, Interdisciplinary Reflections on Science, Society and Ethics. This is a landmark year. We complete 5 years of this endeavor. 5 years ago, in 2021, during COVID times, we organized our first conference. We had all been locked up in our homes in those days of extended lockdowns, which greatly affected every aspect of our lives. The university and college were no exception. It was for the first time that for many of us, or rather I can say many of us, experienced with fascination and wonder the technology of internet. We shifted to what was called the online mode. Student classes, student-teacher interactions and all college activities started using different internet provisions to communicate and exchange views. It made space redundant. Webinar became the buzzword. At that time, the use of technology seemed actually revolutionary and even today we are living in a world of intelligent machines, capable of computing, learning, making decisions and creating, leading to a significant transformation in human life. Clearly, evident in the rapid proliferation across diverse domains such as medicine, governance, education, finance, etc., and even arts, defense and sciences, its power is undeniable. Algorithms influence legal decisions, AI networks are pivotal in drug discovery, AI enhances creative expression. There is no doubt that it has led to significant transformation of human practices and human life. However, this increasing development and use of AI and intelligent machines is both fascinating and alarming. I would say is fascinating but also alarming. Some believe technology has advanced to such an extent that it has begun to threaten and overpower human mind. We therefore need to pause and reflect and remind ourselves that the invention of machine was intended to enhance the agency of mind and not to limit or to suppress it. We can all imagine the catastrophic consequences of allowing machines to overtake agency of mind, like the Frankenstein monster. AI has been created by man and must therefore be handled with maturity and responsibility. It is important not to lose sight of the fact that all this transformation has deep societal, ethical and legal implications. The development and use of any technology does not take place in a vacuum. It is not value neutral. It is deeply intertwined with institutions of knowledge, power and governance. A number of studies have highlighted the biases of the issue of algorithmic biases. They argue that, for example, that AI enforces whiteness as a norm. The feminist scholars argue that AI development reflects the existing patriarchal structures, perpetuate the white male gaze, and tend to intensify social inequality. So the point is that understanding of these nuances and how these nuances are embedded in social structures is very crucial to understand and assess the development and nature of the use of AI and larger issue of the interface between man and machine. It is imperative to reconsider questions relating to the interface. Do man and machine complement each other? Are they each other? Or do they become identical? What are the social, ethical and legal implications of each of these possibilities? Further, how does one actually define intelligence and agency and the nature of ethical guidelines that can the development and application of technologies that increasingly influence our social this in hybrid mode seeks to open a discussion on convergence, divergence and dialectics of mind and machine relations from multidisciplinary perspectives. During the next 3 days, we look forward to several meaningful and effective deliberations by academicians, researchers, social scientists and AI professionals on these questions. We hope that each goes back with a renewed understanding in this interface between mind and machine. Thank you.
Hello, Mike.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your gracious and kind words, and for, in a way, setting the tone for what the deliberations are going to be like for the next 3 days. Before we move forward, I would like to take this moment to warmly welcome Professor Prabhat Ranjan ji, Vice Chancellor, D.Y. Patil International University, Pune. Sir is our distinguished speaker for the first technical session, which is right after this inaugural session, and we are truly grateful to you, sir, for being part of Equinox. Please welcome him with a round of applause. It is my distinct honor to now welcome our chief guest, Professor P.B. Sharma ji, who currently serves as the President of the Association of Indian Universities and Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Gurgaon. With over 44 years of experience in teaching and research, Professor Sharma has made significant contributions to higher education and engineering in India. He spent 12 years at IIT Delhi as a professor of mechanical engineering before becoming principal of Delhi College of Engineering in 1990, a position he held with distinction until 2009. Subsequently, he was appointed the founder vice chancellor of Delhi Technological University. He also has the honor of being the founding vice chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi Technical University, Bhopal. His visionary leadership in science, technology, and education has left a lasting mark on India's academic landscape. We are truly privileged to have you with us today, sir. And a big round of applause again to warmly welcome our chief guest.
Okay. Let me begin by expressing my profound happiness in being with you, seeing the future of India in front of me, the highly inspired minds of young students of Maitreyi College, distinguished faculty members sitting in front of me, Honorable Chairperson of the Governing Council, Madam Professor Kaur ji, fellow Vice Chancellor Professor Prabhat Ranjan ji, coming all the way from D.Y. Patil International University, Pune, your principal, Professor Haritma Chopla ji in absence here, the Honorable Vice Principal, Madam Jyoti Singh ji in person here, my very dear friend and Professor Gopi Tripathi ji, present here, Madam Meena Yadav ji, and my very dear friend Professor Roy, who had been in touch with me to bring me here for you this morning. I feel immensely delighted to be with you, primarily for two reasons. First of all, I had my long association with Delhi University. During my days as principal of Delhi College of Engineering, from the historic Kashmiri Gate campus to its most magnificent, most modern new campus adjoining Sector 16 of Rohini, I had great privilege and honor of having been associated with Delhi University to witness its great progress and also the great contributions it has made to the nation's development right from the day when it was founded way back in 1922 under the leadership of its founder, Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Hari Singh Gaurji. Many people may not know the founder, Vice Chancellor as clearly as I know, having been the founder Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi Technological University and also Delhi Technological University, that Delhi College of Engineering became way back in 2009. I'm immensely delighted to be here with you. But I'm also delighted because we all are meeting at a great time when a new India is in the making, tremendous amount of excitement, tremendous amount of euphoria. Our spirits are very high. We are promising ourselves that we shall make this country one of the most prosperous, one of the most happiest, and one of the healthiest nations on planet Mother Earth. That's the kind of promise we are making ourselves to, and we want to achieve all this by 2047 when we celebrate 100 years of independence of our great nation. I will be around 100 years old by that time when we celebrate the 100 years of independence of India. And I'm praying to God Almighty that let my country lead to that destination where we could say with pride that we have tremendous amount of pride in calling ourselves as Bharati or Indian, as the case may be by that time. Maybe we all will call ourselves Bharati at that time rather than Indian. And we would like to see a nation which is not only economically prosperous, but also one of the happiest and one of the healthiest nations on planet Mother Earth. And to achieve that target, it's very important for us, including people like you, the young people in front of me, and your learned faculty here, we have to focus on the theme that you have chosen. Because we are meeting at a time where on one hand there are great opportunities ahead of us. We can mop out the entire pollution that we have created during the last 50, 60 years of our development. We have great opportunity to create millions and millions of jobs for our countrymen. In fact, we could create so many work opportunities in India that whole world can come and work in India. That's the kind of opportunity that we have today. You have an opportunity to build a nation from its current level of $4.2 trillion economy. That's what we are. And we are jumping on our feet because we are the fourth largest economy of the world. And we are promising ourselves to become the third by 2030 and thereafter compete with the high and mighty, which means China and America, to capture even the number one economy of the world. And it's possible. But it's possible only when we focus on science and technology alongside with society and also understand the meaning and purpose of utilizing science and technology for building a great society. Human society empowered with ethics and professional morals of the kind that are absolutely essential. I do not know how many of you pay attention to your university's motto. They say, Satyam, Dhrati, Nishtha. These are the three words inscribed on the emblem of Delhi University. Satyam, Dhrati, Nishtha. Which means, translated in simple Hindi, it would mean निष्ठा के साथ सत्य को धारण कर अपना जीवन व्यतीत करना चाहिए. For whole of our life, up to the last breath of our life, we have to promise ourselves that we should trade and transact on the path of righteousness, with righteous conduct, with righteous behavior, And we shall do this not under compulsion of the organization or the system to which we belong to, but it must be an intense inner urge within us that we shall not deviate from the cause of truth for which the human beings are supposed to be here. And that's why our forefathers, as early as the Vedic time, proclaimed Satyamed Jayate Nanatam Satyene Pantha Yatato Devyana. You must be wondering how a Vice Chancellor of a technological university talking of Vedas and Sanskrit. But you must not make a mistake. I am one of those Vice Chancellors who have Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Science, as well as Doctor of Engineering, all the 3 PhDs together. And that's why I can comprehend the science and technology and connect them to the day-to-day philosophy that is very important for us to understand the meaning and purpose of science and technology. When I was born at that time, the science was considered to be the science for society. Technology was considered to be a great enabler of the advancement of human society. Nobody at that time thought the kind of damage that we have done today. All the rivers of India were the rivers of nectar at that time. I could go at that time and take a dip in Ganga Ji and say, Ganga tera pani amrit, and drink Ganga Jal like this. And I could do that not only in Ganga Ji, but also in Yamuna Ji here in Delhi, also at Betwa River where I was born, to Narmada Ji of Madhya Pradesh, to which I belong to, and to every single river of India. The water quality was better than what we have today in this bottle in front of me, which is what you call the potable drinking water. So same was the case with air quality at that time. At that time the air quality was so good that we were calling it Prabhat. And if nothing else is there, हम हवा से भी अपना पेट भर सकते थे और कहते थे हवा तो है, भगवान ने इतनी साफ सुथरी प्राणवायु हमको दी है, we can survive if we have good quality of air, and of course water was in plenty available at that time. Go to anybody's house, they will first serve you water. Today you come to even my house, when I serve the water you will look around and ask quietly whether it is RO water or not. Sir, do you have packed water? Those were the time when the water quality and air quality was so good that even the poorest of the poor man could afford to have the cleanest of the clean air and purest of the pure water. And that's why at that time the rich were rich, but poor were no poor. Rich were rich, poor were no poor, both were happy and both were healthy. In fact, the poor were more healthy than the rich. I'm not joking. I've seen that at that time that the poor ones were more healthy because they were eating what you are prescribing today, what you call millets today as the food, nutritious food for tomorrow, healthy food for tomorrow. That was the food for the poor people at that time. And that's why they had the purest of the pure air, purest of the pure water, good quality food, and that's why rich were rich, but poor were no poor. Both were happy and both were healthy because our needs were limited and we were not looking at each other that you have this much, why should I not have this much? That kind of feeling was not there. Everybody was contented to enjoy a blissful, happy and healthy life. The science in those days which our forefathers have cultivated for millions of the years together, along with the layers of jnana, vijnana, as well as pragyana. 3 layers, jnana, vijnana and pragyana, enabling to develop a society where you could live for 100 years without ever visiting a hospital, let alone the super specialty hospital that we have in plenty today. Go to any hospital today, you find it's as much crowded as the railway station. All that has happened during my own lifetime. Because the science and technology in those days was for the society's well-being, and it was considered absolutely essential to utilize science in a manner to provide you a happy and healthy life. You may question me, you may say that, sir, the quality of life today, of course, is questionable, but the life expectancy has gone up. Today we are able to survive, as per the latest data, 72 years or plus is the life expectancy in India. Maybe at that time of independence, there was a lot of child mortality at that time. A lot of child care was questionable. We did not have that much care for the mothers of the kind that we have today. All that has been the benefit. But in our madness to utilize science and technology, along with its ever-increasing power of computing and analysis and design, we have created great machines, and we utilize our mind to utilize these machines to destroy the beauties of nature. हमारे पर्वत आज की तारीख में चीख से चिल्ला रहे हैं. Jungle, the forest that I had during my childhood, I could go from Vidisha to Bhopal and the bus will stop. You ask what happened, they will say, Sher Sahab cross kar rahe hain road ko. That was the time, because at that time the tigers and also the lions, they were all freely moving. You had highest level of biodiversity at that time. When you will construct your house, you will not only ask where would be my bedroom, where would be my drawing room and this and that. You will ask where would be the place where my cows and buffaloes and all other supporting animals, what have we done for them. This is not the inclusive idea of the development that was there at that time. Science and technology was utilized to create a happy and healthy humanity. My own mother lived for 101 years, never went to any hospital. She used to ask me that you have been a professor in IIT, vice chancellor of so many universities, why it is that the disease is multiplying and more people are going to hospital. And she was absolutely right, because the science, what it was in those days, it was science of life. It was science to understand how we can live a happy and healthy life by understanding ourselves, by understanding the surroundings and nature, and then trade and transact in a manner, utilizing the ethical and moral dimensions in a manner that we could promise ourselves to 100 years plus healthy and happy life. And this is not exactly the past was. But today, all this is questionable, because I have seen it happening before my own eyes. I have seen that science became more or less a science for military and defense science. Technology became an empowerment for industrial development as well as for the advancement of capabilities by which we are able to bombard thousands of miles away from here and within few seconds. This is not what the science and technology was to be. Science and technology were supposed to be the support mechanisms and enablers for creating a happy and healthy humanity, a society that will take care of its own people, but also take care of the built environment around and take care of Mother Nature. The Mother Nature was able to bless you then, and today Mother Nature is crying. It's asking us, what can we do today now that you are in the age of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and great capabilities of science and technology are in front of us. Therefore, when the invitation was made to me to come here and inaugurate this annual conference, EQUINOX-2025, for a college like Maitreyi University, I really felt very happy to come here. I have my written address, which I will now go through to do justice with the theme of the conference, to give you a hope that the world tomorrow could be 10 times, rather 100 times better than what it is today. But no one else other than us, including the young minds sitting in front of me are the students and the brilliant minds of teachers in front of me, we all have to work together along with our leadership, both in the government as well as in the industry and corporate, to create that bright and blissful future for our great nation. And it is this call, in my opinion, that asks us now to focus on the theme of minds and machines, interdisciplinary reflections on science, society and ethics. We have to talk of science for society. We have to talk of ethics and professional morals for people of knowledge and people of skills. Today, you talk of ethics, they think, Pandit ji ho kya? When I was studying in University of Birmingham, talking about ethics and professional morals, they used to say, are you a priest? I said, only a priest has to talk about ethics and professional morals. Ethics and professional morals are the basis on which the power of science and might of technology is to be rightly and rightfully employed for creating the divine bliss which the human beings require on planet Mother Earth. And it is this basis of ethical and moral understanding of the use of science and technology that is far more important today now that we have understood the power of AI, and we have begun to understand that how this power could become really the power infinite, so that AI in fact could become an advantage infinite if we make it positive, but it also could become devastation of the kind which we have never heard of. And therefore in this particular theme, let me begin by thanking Madam Principal Dr. Haritma Chopra ji for this great opportunity to be at this important international conference. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this conference, Minds and Machines, Interdisciplinary Reflections on Science, Society and Ethics, is not just of contemporary relevance. In fact, it is the most critical conversation of our time. It captures the very essence of the new world that we are building, a world where interface between man and machine is becoming increasingly complex and difficult to profess. Thank you, artificial intelligence, and your new avatars of applications that are redefining this interface between man and machine afresh, establishing new horizons of human capabilities and empowering both man and machine with the skills to create a new world of unprecedented collaboration to meet and greet both the local as well as the global challenges that include the nagging problem of creating responsible citizenship, moving mountains of pollution that we have created due to our neglect of the interest of man and interest of Mother Nature, creating new enterprises on the strength of game-changing technology innovations, providing industry-ready education, creating millions of jobs for the young minds, and also achieving the noble goal of net zero emissions alongside with great economic growth that we are promising to our nations around the world, including here in India for Viksit Bharat of 2047. This new world needs to be powered by the genius of the digital twins. And I'm calling digital twins not just to machines or virtual reality. I'm talking of digital twins as humans, and artificial intelligence enables smart machines and systems, including the humanoids of tomorrow. Looking at the history of modern scientific age, we find that we have approached the world through the lens of individual disciplines. The scientists do not worry about society. They say that I fear none, including the God Almighty. Ask a scientist. He will say, or she will say, I fear none. I don't even fear God Almighty. Many of the scientists will say they don't acknowledge even the existence of God. This is the trouble. If you go back in time and ask Madame Curie, one of the greatest scientists of her time, who received 2 Nobel Prizes at that time, she was required to say that it is the spiritual strength of science that will wipe out poverty, hunger, wipe out disease, prevent wars, and will create a society of which we will be proud of. In those days, the spiritual power of science was a focus. But we are talking of a time well before the Second World War. After the Second World War, the spiritual power of science suddenly became the industrial power of science. And that's where the departure took place. That's where the ethics and professional morals and commitment to build a happy and healthy humanity was lost as the purpose of science. And it is this purpose we need to rediscover now that we are in the age of artificial intelligence and machine learning, to understand the context better as well as their applications. The rise of intelligent and smart machines today demand that we build not just bridges between disciplines, but ensure seamless interconnectedness and often cause fusion between various disciplines and domains to co-create the future that we wish to live in. The compelling call of the hour, therefore, in my opinion, is to bring together path-breaking scientists, game-changing technologists, visionary philosophers, data scientists of integrity, critical thinkers, artists of great vision, atheists, and spiritualist of the wisdom of the oneness of diversity to co-create a bright and blissful future for the humanity at large. We need to necessarily do it by keeping in mind that the ingenuity of human intelligence and enormous power of intelligent and smart machines of tomorrow shall greatly impact our aspirations of growth and development, especially now that the horizons of human endeavor have reached a level of maturity to comprehend the beautiful cosmos of which the humans are only a small part on Mother Earth. For long we have been professing that a machine can compute 1 million data points in a second, but it cannot understand compassion. We were undermining the power of machine, that machine cannot behave like humans. It cannot connect with each other with Atmita. It cannot express the emotions of the kind that we have, and it cannot have that ethical and moral understanding of putting our best foot forward for the interest of man and Mother Nature. This perception, in my opinion, does not hold today, especially now that we have begun to understand that machines are becoming not only smart and intelligent, they are graduating like us, and they are graduating to a horizon where they would be able to understand your mood and your emotions. The minute Vice Chancellor goes to the office, they know that Vice Chancellors come with a heavy head. They will make Vice Chancellor relaxed, asking, sir, can I sing a song for you? Or can I play the music that you like? Or should I tell you some good things that have happened in the university during the last 1 week just to cheer you up? They will relax you. The machine will have the capability to understand your mood and your expressions and connect to you as much as you connect with your OSD or your peer or your colleagues at this time. That's the kind of promise. And therefore, the power of machines of tomorrow cannot be undermined. I'm looking at the day when, in fact, in the Vice Chancellor's room, a robot will be walking. As well dressed as I am, in a suit and tie, with a spectacle and looking almost like me, having hands and ears, everything, and that to the skin as soft as I have, and this fellow will be coming saying, good morning, sir. I thought I should spend some time with you to understand the nexus between science, society, man and machine, and to understand how the beautiful world could be co-created by the genius of man and the power of the machines and system that we have around. That's the kind of world, in fact, in which we are moving to. So the power of machines and their intelligence cannot be undermined. However, days are not far off when AI-powered autonomous machines, including humanoids of tomorrow, walking well-dressed and talking like humans, shall begin to look after each other's well-being, along with augmenting each other's capabilities of delight in performance of their respective work activity. I foresee a great future for man-machine interaction, being a scholar of history of the future. When I said to my grandson that I am a scholar of history of the future, he was looking this way and that way. He was in class 11. In class 10th, this fellow took artificial intelligence as a subject without my knowledge. And we scored 100 out of 100 in the board examination. He asked me, how are you talking about history of the future? I said, today we can foresee with much greater clarity than ever earlier, and today we can write the history of the future today. Otherwise, history is written for what has happened in the past. So being a scholar of history, I see a great future for the humanity to be here on planet Mother Earth with all the goodies of nature and the blissful life. I see no conflict between man and machine. Rather, I see a future where human mind and the machine capabilities would converge. Instead of just asking what machines can do, let us focus on what we as humans can accomplish together with the smart and intelligent machine that we are creating ourselves. By using our ingenuity, our imagination, and tomorrow's intelligent machines and systems, we can create a bright future, both for the humanity as well as for technology and science. This conference, with its rich array of sub-themes perfectly embodied, this interdisciplinary spirit, from the application of artificial intelligence in healthcare and medicine to its ethical implications in race and gender bias, From the potential of image generation in arts to the security challenges in public administration and geopolitics, you are exploiting the full spectrum of this new reality in the making with the man-machine interface. The questions you ask over the next 3 days will be foundational to shaping our future, even sketching the blueprint of the history of the future. As an educator, I am acutely aware of the challenge that this new era presents to our institutions of higher learning. Our graduates will not only be entering a world where they compete with machines, they will be entering a world where they must treat them as their co-brothers and sisters. लोगों ने मुझसे कहा है सर बड़ी बड़ी बात कर रहे हो, हम मशीन को अपना भाई बहन कैसे मान सकते हैं? तो मैंने कहा भाई को भाई इसलिए मानते हो कि वो आपको सपोर्ट करता है, आपके माँ बाप से जुड़ा हुआ है. जिस मशीन को आपने अपनी लैब में डेवलप किया, जिसको इतनी कैपेबिलिटी थी, उसको अपने बेटे की तरह, अपने भाई की तरह, अपनी बहन की तरह मानने में क्या तकलीफ हो सकती है? We are moving in that direction where man and machine relationship, in my opinion, will be not only reimagined but also will be redefined. The future of work and indeed the future of humanity depends on our ability to cultivate a new generation of leaders who are not just technically proficient but also morally grounded and ethically aware, so that they do not use science and technology for causing the devastation and destruction of the kind that has happened in the past. They will be called upon to work in a highly innovative environment, not just alone, but an interdisciplinary team of both men of ingenuity and machines of great intelligence and autonomy. This is where the role of teachers becomes more critical than ever. It is our duty to move beyond mere instructions and focus on future readiness and the mantra of higher education. We must be the architects of a curriculum that fosters critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence, the very skills that AI is trying to replicate at present and master it in the very near future. We must teach our students not just to code but to question, not just to innovate but to understand the social and ethical consequences of their innovations. When I meet the innovators today, and I ask them, what are you trying to achieve? The fellow says, my innovation will cause destruction. It will destroy the current level of market. And I said, why you focus on destruction? Why you not think about creating a bright future? So with a positive attitude for innovation and startup, rather than saying I'm going to disrupt the present system of working, we should say I'm going to make the present system 10 times or 100 times far more efficient, far more effective, and far more productive. Then your innovation would be far more successful. The very reason why many of the startups fail is just because they start with the premise that they are here to cause destruction of the current level of market or current level of activity. We have to have a positive attitude towards innovations and create that vital understanding of ethics and professional responsibility that we have to build this great society. Not just to innovate, but to understand the social and ethical consequences of our innovations. Their love for intelligent and smart machines and systems should not undermine their empathy and connect with Atmita, with their fellow beings and the world around them. They should not say that my mobile is a much bigger friend than my own friends of the classroom. That we have to prevent. And how to achieve that is a question. My own work at Amarjeet University, and I'm sure my colleagues here at Maitreyi College and across the globe, are dedicated to this very purpose. We are building educational models that prioritize project-based learning, interdisciplinary collaboration, and a deep sense of social responsibility, so important today. We are training our students to be problem solvers who can navigate the complexities of the hybrid world. Our scientists and technology wizards are seriously engaged in path-breaking advancement of science and technology that shall meet both the local as well as the global aspirations of sustainable development and blissful living on planet Mother Earth. I must conclude by emphasizing that the future is not a zero-sum game between humans and machines. It's a symbiotic relationship waiting to be reimagined and redefined. Now that the age of artificial intelligence and power of machine learning had truly begun to decisively impact the destiny of humankind. It is our collective responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, especially the young minds present here, to ensure that the technology serves as a powerful tool of advancement of the humanity and not a means of madness, which means mutually assured destruction, as it is seen as of today. And surely not a force that undermines our humanity, leads to devastate this great human society and its legacy that we have sustained for millions of the years. I see no reason to believe that the human society shall be overpowered by artificial intelligence. That's one of the worries people have. Some people come and whisper in my ears, "Sir, artificial intelligence will overtake human beings. It will become far more superior and it will empower them, but also overpower them to the extent that you have created a Bhasmasur, now you be under him." That's the kind of perception people have. But people like me don't subscribe to that kind of thinking. I believe that the artificial intelligence and its advancement today as well as tomorrow rest on a tripod. This tripod comprises of, number one, connectivity and the infrastructure that brings connectivity to your mobile, to your machines, and to your systems. The second part of that tripod is the chip, the hardware that is inside the inside your mobile or machines and systems. And the third, which is software and operating systems and all applications that you have. This tripod together drives the advancement of artificial intelligence. Today, connectivity and communication is controlled by Bharti, Airtel, Jio, and people who are in that line, telecommunication area. The microchip development depends upon the genius of humankind, but also on the capabilities of manufacturing that the world has. And you have variety of these players, including Intel here, Samsung within India, and also Micron Technologies and several others. Then you have the software people, Microsoft, Google, and all others. So long as these three players of AI remain separate, but work together to empower the world tomorrow, the world will be a blissful place. The minute the monopoly is created, think of a day when all the three players are under one command, and that command wants to destroy this whole world, then you will create violence. I do not see any possibility by which all the three could be converged together to drive an effective agenda that could pose such a devastating threat to the humankind. Let me therefore say that the role of the human beings in the advancement and sustenance of this tripod can never be kept aside. We would require the unity of man and the society to propel to the new horizons of advancement of artificial intelligence and its machines that will utilize. I congratulate the organizers once again for bringing together this outstanding assembly of mind. I am confident that your discussions and reflections over the next few days will pave the way for a more conscious and ethical approach to our collective future. I must thank you, ladies and gentlemen, also to have speakers, not only me, but also Professor Subhash Kak, connecting to you all the way from America, Dr. Rajiv Malhotra, who is one of the great motivators, connecting to you from America, and my own friend, Dr. Balram Singh, connecting to you also during the course of the discussions in this great conference. I am so much happy and delighted to be with you at the inauguration of this conference, and pray to God Almighty that what you do here in the next 2 days and the ripples that you call, the brainwaves that you emanate from here, let them define the future of the mankind that should lead us to a happy and healthy humanity on planet Mother Earth. Bharat Mata tab humko आशीर्वाद देगी, तब कहेगी कि I am proud of my scientist. Currently, Bharat Mata is asking us, why could you not save my rivers? Why could you not ensure that the air quality is as good as Pran Vayu? Why you are having so many people rushing toward the hospitals all the time? Why can't you create disease-free society? Bharat Mata is asking all these questions, and I'm sure during the Next 2 days in this conference, you will be able to answer some of these questions to the best of your ability. God bless you. God bless you, Madam Chairperson, Madam Principal, Madam Vice Principal, and all your learned teachers and the bright minds of students present here. God bless you. Thank you so much indeed for this opportunity. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. Professor P.P. Sharma ji has given us a very small glimpse of how enriching his classroom sessions and lectures must have been. The students here are also very thrilled to know that Delhi University is a common thread between all of them and such a distinguished personality like you. Sir offers a remarkable moral framework to technology, one that is deeply rooted in our history and indigenous traditions and values, and perhaps that's why his emphasis and a reminder to all of us here that while it's extremely essential to innovate, this innovation must be guided by desire to promote social inclusivity. Thank you so much, sir, once again for such an optimistic, thought-provoking and inspiring keynote address. You have set a very solid intellectual foundation for the conversations that will follow over the course of the next 3 days. May I please invite everyone to please give a big round of applause to sir.
Here, much of this contained in my recent book, where I have said that freedom is not free. It comes with responsibility as well as a good mind. I have said that India can be good and great, not just on the power of economic prosperity, but also on the power of good governance and responsible society. And I have great pleasure in presenting a copy of this book to your chairperson, Madam Professor Jagrith Kaur. Honorable Principal, Madam Harmita Choplaji, who is not here, but I am passing on this book, presenting it to the Vice Principal, Madam Jyoti Singh ji. Both of you, I am sure, will be happy to go through. Nothing more from my side.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful gesture. We're truly grateful. Before I move forward, just a small request to all the members of the audience. The forms for feedback and attendance are being circulated by the student volunteers. There are also sheets placed on the door, which is towards the back of the hall for your convenience. You can scan the QR code on these sheets and give your attendance and very valuable feedback. Moving forward, we have now arrived at the much anticipated moment of this session, and one that especially reflects the tireless efforts of the Abstract Committee of EQUINOX-2025, the formal release of the abstract book. I now invite our honorable dignitaries as well as the conveners of Equinox to kindly release the abstract book. May I also, along with Vice Principal Ma'am, please. May I also request the members of the Abstract Committee, Dr. Jyotsna and Ms. Shikha, to please join us on stage for this special moment. I would also like to take this opportunity to invite our dedicated student volunteers whose efforts have contributed immensely to making this abstract book a success. Let's hear from them with a big round of applause. Aditi Rathore, Nikita Pal, Riya Garg, Ananya Lodi, Vasudha Sinha, and Naina Sharma. I cannot hear the round of applause for the appreciation for the immense efforts of the Abstract Committee and the student volunteers. A round of applause, please, to just show our encouragement and appreciation. I now take this opportunity to invite Dr. Maitreyi Roy, Convenor of Equinox 2025, to please deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the conveners. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, one and all. Just like every successful event is like a symphony, possible only because notes come together. So this event would not have been possible without the contribution of so many people. And it is indeed an honor for me to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the conveners of Equinox 2025. First and foremost, I would like to thank our chief guest, Professor P.B. Sharma, for sparing time and gracing this occasion. A special thanks to our chairperson, Professor Kaur, for our constant support and encouragement in all our endeavors. I would like to thank Professor Prabhat Ranjan, who has graced this event despite his very busy schedule today. My sincere thanks are due to our dear Principal, Coordinator, Center for Research and Chief Editor of One-Page Journal of Thematic Analysis, Professor Haitala Chopra, for her vision and support, without which this conference would not have been possible. I would also like to thank all the members of the advisory and editorial board of One-Page for their constant support and advice, and also for the selection of the theme of this conference. Thanks are also due to the dedicated members of the organizing committee and our student volunteers for their hard work. I would like to thank all the administrative and technical staff for their valuable support throughout. Special mentions are due to Ms. Radhika, Mr. Vanu, Mr. Jitendra, Mr. Brijesh and Mr. Sachin, who are our pillars of support. Last but not the least, sincere thanks are due to all the delegates and participants for joining us here today. A special thanks to the Anusandhan National Research Fund, Government of India, for showing their belief in the theme and in the college and funding this conference. I hope during these 3 days you all have a very enriching time and carry back fond memories from Maitreyi College. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words of appreciation. I now request all the members of the organizing committee to please come on stage for a group photo with the chief guest and our guests of honor. Members of the organizing committee of Equinox, Dr. Shalini Talwar, Ms. Kaur Biswas, Dr. Hema Bhandari, Dr. Jaspreet Kaur, Dr. Jyotsna Talreja Vasan, Dr. Tejendra, Dr. Neeraj Kumar, Ms. Vidasmita, Dr. Ankita Sehrawat, who could not be with us today, unfortunately, Dr. Simran Kaur, Dr. Neha, Ms. Shubhra Suman, Dr. Divakar, Ms. Aditi Ehlawat, Dr. Ved Vardhan, Dr. Sarika Sharma, Dr. Mamta Dhawan. She couldn't be with us today on account of ill health. Ms. Rimal Chauhan, Dr. Babita Chaudhary, Ms. Reena and Ms. Nikita. Thank you so much. I now request everyone to please be at your seat and rise for the national anthem. We could proceed with the national anthem, all of us. Thank you, everyone. This is a sentiment that comes straight from the heart, so we decided to not move ahead with the audio. I request the members of the audience to please stay with us for a few moments. There are going to be a couple of important announcements. Students at the back, the registered participants, everybody, please stay with us just for a few moments. We now officially conclude the inaugural session of Equinox 2025. Our dignitaries are now invited to join us for high tea in the committee room. I request again the audience to please stay back just for 2 minutes for some important announcements.
Thank you so much indeed. Thanks.
All participants in the poster presentation, do we have them in the room with us? Participants for the poster presentation, you are requested to display your posters during this break. Do we have the participants for poster presentation? Yes. Registered participants who have received their conference kits, I repeat again, registered participants who have received their conference kits, they're going to find the coupons, the food coupons inside those kits. You are requested to please proceed to the AV room. We have our student volunteers, they will guide you to the AV room. I also request our respected faculty members to please join us in the AV room for refreshments. Refreshment boxes are also available in MSP. They're available in one of the MSP rooms. The student volunteers are just outside the hall to guide you. Refreshment boxes in MSB hall. Registered participants with food coupons, please proceed to the AV room. I also request everyone to please be back by sharp 10:45. We will begin with our first technical session. The distinguished speaker for the session is already here with us. Thank you again for being part of Equinox 2025.
Good morning, everyone. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the first technical session of the 5th Annual International Conference of Maitreyi College, EQUINOX 2025. The theme of this year's conference is Minds and Machines, Interdisciplinary Reflections on Science, Society and Ethics. We are truly honored to begin this session with the presence of two eminent academicians. I request Professor Prabhat Ranjan, Vice Chancellor of Day-1 Patil International University, to kindly come on stage and be seated. I also request Professor Amarjeet Kaur, Senior Professor in the Department of Physics and Astrophysics, University of Delhi, to please join us on stage. We were also supposed to have with us Dr. Sachin Sharma, who was scheduled to deliver his talk in this session. However, due to pressing academic commitments, he could not be present with us in person today. Nevertheless, he has graciously shared a video recording of his lecture, which will be played shortly after the session. professors. Now, I would request Dr. Meena, Convenor of EQUINOX-2025, Dr. Meena Ma'am, to kindly felicitate our distinguished speaker, Professor Prabhat Ranjan, with the plant as a token of respect and gratitude. Thank you. I would now request the convener to facilitate our esteemed chairperson, Professor Amarjeet Kaur, with the plant as well. Thank you very much. It is now my honor to introduce the chairperson of the session, Professor Amarjeet Kaur. Professor Kaur is a senior professor in the Department of Physics and Astrophysics, University of Delhi. She earned her PhD in 1997 from the University of Delhi and has been actively engaged in research on conducting polymers and small molecules for over 32 years. During her doctoral work at the National Physical Laboratory in New Delhi, she made significant contributions to the study of charge transport mechanisms in conducting polymers with a special focus on polypyrrole. In 2000, she pursued her postdoctoral research at the Center for Advanced Materials, University of Massachusetts, USA, where she worked on organic light-emitting diodes. Her expertise spans across designing nanostructured materials for gas sensors, solid-state devices such as organic photovoltaic cells, OLEDs, smart windows, and electromagnetic interference shielding. Currently, her group is leading pioneering research in developing cost-effective supercapacitors and batteries for electric vehicle applications. With over 100 international peer-reviewed publications, 6 international patents, and 1 Indian patent, Professor Kaur is a highly respected name in the field of materials science and applied physics. She also mentors a vibrant group of doctoral scholars, postdoctoral fellows, and trainees. We are delighted to have her with us today. With this, I hand over the session to Professor Amarjeet Kaur.
Thank you so much for such nice words, and it's my pleasure and privilege to introduce Professor Prabhat Ranjan, who is the first distinguished speaker of this session. And Professor Ranjan is the founder and former Honorable Vice Chancellor of D.Y. Patil International University, Pune. And before this, he has served as Executive Director of TIFAC, that is Technology Information and Forecasting Assessment Council. This is a body of Department of Science and Technology, which functions as the India's premier think tank, making policies and next generation, assisting the technological developments and all. Actually, Professor Ranjan is he's a multifaceted personality. So he began his academic journey as a nuclear fusion scientist, and later emerged as a distinguished leader in the field of brain-computer interface. So before I proceed further, generally, I keep my introduction very brief, especially for the eminent personalities, because I just highlight few key achievements relevant to the session, but so that I should not stand too long between the audience and the speaker. But in this case, it would be really unfair and even incomplete if I skip over this his inspiring academic and professional journey, and especially I want to share this with the students. He started his schooling in Bihar, and so I'm taking liberties for a few minutes. I'm just starting your minutes or something. But from childhood he was interested in photography, and especially photographic techniques for development and all. And in the 9th standard, because he was interested in science and mathematics, he really, started fascinated about the elementary particles and particle physics and research. At the time of Google, right, when there was no Google, at that time he was interested in particle physics, where particle physics is taught at the master level in the 2nd year. and after quantum mechanics, and after you study all quantum mechanics and nuclear physics, and at that time at the 9th standard, a child is interested in elementary particle physics, and at that time when there was no Google also. So I'm just wondering, and I'm curious to know from where you got the books and all. so and then
very good library.
Wow. So then in 1976, without any formal preparation, he qualified IIT JEE exam, and he joined IIT Kharagpur as a BSc Physics student. And then I'm proud to say that his MSc is from Department of Physics and Astrophysics, which is my alma mater also. And then here he focused on astrophysics and relativity, and that is basically it's a theoretical field. And then because of his academic excellence, he got full fellowship, and he joined University of California, Berkeley for his PhD. But there was a turning point, that instead of theoretical astrophysicist, he preferred to work in the applied energy research, because that was the need of our nation also. So he finally, he started working on nuclear fusion. So then, because he had very good computational skill from the very beginning, from IIT itself, and he used to, he used to have a lot of creative work also, like Hindi language tools and all, developing all those things. And then after coming back from Berkeley, he joined Saha Institute of Nuclear Physics, and he helped to set up India's first tokamak. Tokamak is, just for the people who are not from the scientific background, basically it is that it was based on hot plasma for creating nuclear fusion. And nuclear fusion reactions, it takes place in sun. That's why you get so much energy from sun. So so after that, Professor Ranjan was invited to move, and he moved to Gandhinagar to join the superconducting tokamak in Institute of Plasma Research. And he also worked on, struggling. There was already an Aditya tokamak was there, which was not functioning well. So within 5 days, he significantly improved Aditya's performance. And so then after that, in 2002, Professor Ranjan joined DAIICT, that is Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of Information and Communication Technologies. So he engaged himself as a professor, and then his focus shifted from nuclear fusion to space, and he was invited to join Chandrayaan-2 mission in 2009. And there actually he designed a multifunctional lunar exploration system. I think its name was USEX. Yeah, and so from Sun he landed to moon research. Okay. Then he also started exploring, sensors, networks and all, right, in DAIICT. So he, especially he developed sensors to track animals like tigers, wild animals like tigers, deers, turtles, etc. And then, so from moon, his journey, now he landed from moon to earth. Then after that, he got involved in development of assistive technologies to help persons with severe disabilities. And this include having, all those people like those who have restricted finger movements, or, if you have to help to control their movements and all. And I think he developed some system called environmental control system. And then, so now he started working on this thing. Professor Ranjan developed this brain-computer interface to assist those with locked-in syndrome. And I think in the locked-in syndrome, your brain works, but rest of your body parts are, they are not working. They are paralyzed in the sense. So he worked. So it was a, from Earth he shifted to the body, and it's really a gift to the mankind, to the humanity, that he started working in this area, and especially for for exploring applications for vegetative patients, how to bring back them in the mainstream. And now he is using BCI, that is brain computer interface, for multiple intelligence to guide education and career choices also. And once again, I would say that it is privileged to have him here, and his journey is truly, Hon Haat Birwan ke hot chikne paat. So now over to you, sir, for your talk.
Okay. Thank you, madam, for the kind introduction and having gone through my blog. You can go through my blog, it's ranjan.in, covers many areas, including healthcare sector, other things, where I've done experiments on myself and shared those things. As time is short, I have to rush to a meeting. So I'll move fast, but just as she mentioned, I was also a student of Delhi University from 1979 to 81. And I remember that 6th March 1981, I got the information from Berkeley that I've been given admission along with a fellowship. And the first thing I did was to rush to our teachers. They were in a meeting room, something was happening, and then when they came out, informed them. And we were talking to some of the teachers that we had at Delhi University. They were wonderful actually at that time. We were just trying to recollect the names. Now, brain-computer phase, when I saw this topic related to mind and machine, I remember 10 years back in Delhi itself, I was heading India's technology think tank TIFAC. I had organized a meeting, it was called Future of Brain, a race between mind and machine. That is there on the YouTube, it was a wonderful discussion we had. At the end of that, my talk, I said that mind and machine are going to cooperate with each other, okay, and not compete with each other. So that's what I have always believed. And today, I've been, for example, using computers for the last 48 years. I've been developing artificial intelligence for 28 years. More recently, I've been doing creative works. So things I don't have, I'm able to use AI to complement myself. Like Prabhat knows, I've been making songs, 97 songs I have made in the last slightly more than a year, which has song in my voice. I don't sing. It looks like I'm singing. Visuals are also there. Everything is done by AI. Okay? Sitting on computers. Single man, nobody helps me. I do it myself. So simply not possible without the help of AI. So AI can complement our tasks, and I was very poor in all of these things when I was in school, because to get lowest marks in music and so on, I was never into any of these things. So you see how you can complement each other. My tenure as a Vice Chancellor got over in April, and right now I'm Chairman, Research, Innovation and International Relations of the Pratishthan, which manages multiple universities, 3 universities and about more than 20 colleges. So as was mentioned, I'm a nuclear fusion scientist, I'm a futurist, I'm not an expert in neuroscience or healthcare professional. But as a physics student, I have the privilege to go into any field I like. Okay? Physics trains you on a certain basic things. So I work on problems. I forget what is my degree, I work on problems. So even neuroscientists consult me, I give them talks also. Just now, a few weeks back, I gave a talk to Indian Federation of Neurorehabilitation. And I'm chairman of Bureau of Indian Standards Committee on Brain-Computer Phase Standardization, and I'm head of India's delegation. Right now, I'm come to Delhi because there is an international meet going on right now in Delhi. Today, it was a little less, but last 2 days I was busy from morning to evening, and next 2 days again, same thing is going to be there. The work we started in this was sometime in 2011. I started working in disability sector sometime in 2007 because of student projects. As Madam described, slowly to move to brain. So around 2011, I demonstrated the first experiment where through my smile or through my eye movement, I can control things around me, like light bulbs and other things. Okay? And then I'll show you how things happened. And then in between, I couldn't continue because I came to Delhi in a different position, it's not a university. 2018, I moved to university. Of course, I still miss giving lectures to students, so I'm happy to see all young people here. But 2019 onwards, I started guiding PhD scholars. In this area, I'll talk about some of these. But I've not forgotten my nuclear fusion. Okay. 2020, a US investor requested me to start a nuclear fusion project, which I called Project Sunland. And just a few weeks back, I started another company. That project ran out of money, so I had to stop in 2022. I've called it ASPL Fusion, Agnira Sunland Private Limited, short from ASPL Fusion. We are planning to use nuclear fusion to produce medical radioisotopes and also many other things for nuclear industry as well as energy. we'll have a phase-wise thing. In fact, this discussion is going on right now to raise investments and so on. Those of you interested, you can read my blog on ranjan.in, where I've talked about how I got into the sector, so I can move out of this. So outline of this talk is that I'll talk about how I got into assistive technology in brain-computer interface, what work I've done in brain-computer interface, what is the scope of brain-computer interface, what is the work being done around the globe, and conclude the session. But I must tell you something, as a futurist, I'm also seeing that all this college education will be gone. No teacher required. Directly you can feed knowledge into brain. Okay. So it's already happening. 2015 I had given talk and I said by 2018 it starts to happen. Actually it has happened where knowledge is being transferred from person to person. Some of those who might have seen this movie PK, you probably saw Amir Khan landing from a gola, holding hand of a woman for 6 or 8 hours and learning Bhojpuri. Okay, that is brain to brain transfer through hand. So actually this is happening and you can learn the language by popping a pill. So this all work is being done. So slowly you will find that to transfer knowledge, I just have a pen drive or something, I put it to my brain and my knowledge I can. And today actually even I don't have to go that far. Today AI is doing this. You know? Even most of our nuclear fusion project work, we are asking AI to prepare a nice summary or prepare a document, and it's all happening. Students are also using it. So in some sense, it is already happening. In fact, I have become very lazy. I always give AI something to do. Okay. So initially, what we did was to develop a girl who had a cerebral palsy. She could not move her fingers. She could not walk. She could not speak. Her name is Bhavna. She was in Chennai. My students, couple of students met her and came back to me. So we developed something through hand gesture, it can control TV. So when she moves her hand up, TV channel goes up, TV channel goes down, volume goes down, volume goes up. Normally when we operate television, we change the channel and the volume. So through the movement, 4 gestures, up, down, left, right, we could control all this. That's how we started. And then other people started to come to us with different types of problems. And then we said we'll focus on each one of them and try to find solutions. So this is the device we made, where through hand gesture you can control. These have certain limitations that it was like a remote control which you need to point towards the device. But many users with disability cannot turn around. For example, if suppose air conditioner is the back side, they cannot turn around to put it on. So we made another device. In fact, this is Parvati in Ahmedabad. We're trying this Kajal. Sorry, I reversed the thing. Kajal and Parvati. Then I made a second device where it's divided in 2 parts. There is the left one is a central system which you can put somewhere in the room, either on the ceiling or on the table or something, and it can control up to 4 devices in the room. And there's a flexible tube that you see, you can point it in the direction that you require. And the other device on the right side is on your hand. You can control 4 things in the room. You don't have to turn around because that is being taken by the flexible tube. And to save the cost, these were LED lights which you can connect to USB port and light. Same thing you converted for this purpose. It was costing you 60 rupees. If you're trying to do something from scratch, it will cost a lot of money. So we could do it in a very low cost. There is Parth in Ahmedabad trying this out. There are 2 boys in Delhi, Sumit and Rohit, trying this out. They used to love to watch cricket. That time World Cup match was going on, and just being able to control the television by their own was a big happiness. The other girl, Neha Agrawal, I think I don't have a photo of her, but she was so happy that she was dependent on everyone else. The minute she could do things by herself, she threw everyone out of room because she wanted to do what she wanted to do. She didn't want somebody else to control things. She couldn't speak, she couldn't move around, so on. We received, and my students team received HP number 2009 award. We got funding. We got NCPDP Emphasis Universal Design Award on August 14, 2012. And through this funding, we can give it to a lot of people across the country. Now my family members run a school in Patna, where I saw this slogan, count the ability, not the disability. Focus on the positive part of the person, not the negative part. Like we say, oh, this person cannot walk, this person cannot see, this person cannot speak. Well, let's talk about negative things. Let's talk about what the person can do. Focus on the positive part, count the ability, not the disability. Right? I can do 100 things. For example, there's a girl, Sarita Dwivedi. She's right now in Kanpur. I met her in Allahabad. She lost both her hand and one leg in a childhood accident when a power line fell when she was at 4 years old. Okay? both her hands were amputated and one leg one. She has only one leg. She's an excellent artist. She does Madhoni paintings, she does sculptures, she can write in beautiful handwriting. Okay. So now she's been winning sports competitions all over the world. Okay. I got connected to her in 2012 and helped her with certain things. I made a wheelchair that she could operate with her leg. So I said, let's focus on the ability person. So what I did was that if you see a left side, I pick up the ability of the person, which could be hand movement, it could be leg movement, it could be head movement, it could be voice, it could be eye movement, eye blink, facial expression, conscious thoughts even, or muscle movement and so on. Right side are different technologies. The green dots that you see, these are the ones which we made and gave it to user. Yellow means we made it in the lab, could not give to user, and white means the work had to be done. This is all done in Gandhinagar actually. And in that you will see there is a BCI part, brain computer face part. So for example, eye movement, I can capture through brain computer face. Facial expressions like my smile and so on I can capture, or eye movement, eye blinks, and even certain thoughts can be captured. Okay? Now these are not, don't worry about that, I can capture all the thoughts. Only certain motor movement related thoughts can be captured. They are from cortex region, upper portion of the brain. And then connect the ability of the person with the technology to whatever they desire to do. For example, operating light or fan or television or computer, or being able to speak through the system, operating a wheelchair. Some people ask us to allow me to open my door, or allow me to open gate of the house, or allow me to run a water tap, geyser or water tap, and also made something that you could operate simple electrical machinery so you could get a job as well. For example, you come to a security gate, what do? You just operate the gate up and down. So somebody who has been given this capability, who doesn't have movement of hands and so on, but through machinery we could give that would be wonderful. And through this we got into brain computer face, and the first project we called it Brain CPAL. CPAL stands for cerebral palsy, because a lot of children that we were helping had cerebral palsy. Now what had happened because of the technological development, neuro headsets were being developed around 2010-11. Okay, that was the time I started to work. And the technological development meant that on the neuro headset, you can put it on your system. It's a wireless device. You don't need to have wires. You can move around. And processing was being done on the machine itself due to embedded system. And through wireless communication, you can communicate to computer. So brain and computer get connected through wireless. Normally you go to hospital and so on, you will see a lot of wires flowing. So this device did not require. This one of them was released in 2010 in US. I was trying to buy that, but they were not giving me. They're saying only in US and Canada. 2011, I think it was May sometime that I got it. I was going on vacation. I came back and worked for 1 month in June actually. On July 1st, 2011, I put on social media and how I was able to operate things. So what happened was that the probing of brain moved out of labs and hospitals into common person like me. I was not a neuroscientist or any hospital and so on. And you can see these devices. For example, see the left side, the top one there. That one is actually, I don't know if this will show. No, it's not visible. You can see a lot of wires flowing. The one we have used is lower one, the left side lower one. But you can see this lady on the right side wearing this as a fashion equipment. Okay? It's a single electrode, but it becomes so common. Like, उस पर actually reflect नहीं होता. So these started to become both cheaper and available large, like used probably you can buy in 5,000 rupees and so on. So July 1st, 2011, I demonstrated in my office in Gandhinagar. The two of these are my engineers, one is a student, how through my eye blinks or a smile I can control light and so on. Okay. Then we started looking for who can be helped with this. This is a talk I gave in one of our Patna school where I monitored children using the brain computer face for their abilities, and you could then classify students into different categories and then help them improve their brain capabilities. This was the first experiment I had done, live experiment. First person that we helped was Mr. Suresh, who did MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. He had a brain stable stroke in 1999. He went into what is called locked-in condition. He could not move his hand or legs, he could not speak, but he could hear and see. So he can take information, he cannot express himself. He could only communicate through blink of his eyes. So suppose he needs to go to washroom, he will look towards the washroom and blink his eyes, his wife will understand that he has to be moved to washroom. Okay. So on March 13th and 14th, 2012, I could not go personally, I sent my engineers. We let him try this out. Okay. What we did in this case was that we moved the movement of head to mouse cursor. When he's moving his head left and right, the mouse cursor on the computer is moving left to right. He's moving head up and down, the mouse cursor is moving up and down. So instead of mouse, your head is controlling the cursor. When he blinks his eyes, through brain computer face identify when he's blinking his eyes, and I press left mouse click. So basically your whole mouse function is now transferred to your head and brain. Using this, we give him an on-screen keyboard, and then he starts to type on that. Okay? The first time he was trying it out on March 2012, it was 13 years since he lost his ability to type by himself. And you know what he was typing? Sometimes I ask this question, but today I don't have time. He was typing his wife's name. Jayasri, short from Jaya, because he was totally dependent on her. So Jaya, to write those J-A-Y, took him a lot of time first time. You can see he's trying this out. Little bit out of focus. You will see, there is on-screen keyboard. He is trying to type on that. I think you'll be able to see he types J and so on. Yeah, you will see he typed J. And then he typed J-A-Y. It took him 3 to 4 minutes. His head was shaking and so on. He could control. Then we showed him how to operate a light bulb, for example. This was next day. So you will see there's a light bulb at the left side corner, which he's going to put it on and off with his smile. At the end of this video, you will see that he starts to laugh like a child. We were so happy to be able to operate a light bulb. Then on 6th April 2012 was his birthday. I gave him something that he could type on the computer and speak through this system. So it will convert text to speech. Okay. This is another lady, Charu Khandal. Many of you might have seen Ravan movie. Okay. Shah Rukh Khan movie. Ravan. She was the chief animator of this. She got national award for this. But the very next day she met with an accident on, I think it was 24th March 2012. She went into coma, she recovered, she had neck down, she was paralyzed. In that condition, I met her in Koklaban Hospital. By the time she recovered her voice, but no hand movement or leg movement, I got her to type on computer, then she wanted to do animation. Unfortunately, we lost her in 2017. She was in Jaipur, I had met her in 2016. I got her to come to AIMS, but then she had a viral infection, we lost her. This blog is there. About her journey. There are many others. I will move out. This gentleman could not do anything by himself, but he took 15 minutes. He couldn't do anything. Suddenly he improved. He wrote his long South Indian name perfectly. He only wanted to be able to monitor stock market, but he was a stockbroker. He said that I can make a lot of money if I can just operate computer for that purpose. The gentleman from he was school principal. This boy and so on. This boy Hitans in Mumbai. So what we were using this emotive device, it has a 14-channel EEG device, you put it on your head, it's all wireless. You can easily move around. You can put it in your classroom also. The teacher can find out whether the student is focusing on the teacher or not. The attention is there or not. And we typically use the 3 sets of softwares. One was to identify facial expressions. Second was emotions. Whether you're excited, you're getting bored and so on. And then certain thoughts which are related to motor movement. So this was the work we did in Dhirubhai Mani Institute. Some work I was doing in Delhi, but not much. Then I restarted this work when I moved to university. There are 4 researchers who are working. 2 of them have got PhD, 3rd one is just submitted. What we are trying to do is to first identify among children and adults also actually, there is a theory of multiple engines. We are not same. We are not robots. We are each different. There is a theory of multiple engines of Professor Howard Gardner. We say that 8 to 9 different kinds of intelligence. For example, if you are good in mathematics, your logical intelligence is higher. So mathematics, physics, logical intelligence will be higher. If you are a creative person, for example, painting, your spatial intelligence will be higher. If I can identify these, then you can be guided to the proper career choices and also how you should learn. Okay? So for example, somebody whose rhythmical is high is going to be good in music, but even to learn they need music in the background. You see many of us use music in the background just to focus. So this is one kind of work. Then a lot of children and adults today have ADHD. We are not able to concentrate, especially because of these digital devices. So we keep, we're not able to focus. So we started to improve that using neuroplasticity, and also we are working on neurorehabilitation to help people disorder of consciousness like vegetative state and so on. This work is going on. The one researcher scholar working on this right now. A multiple intelligence test using BCI, what happens, I just said that there are 8 to 9 different kinds of intelligences. Normally people have worked on 2 to 3 intelligences, but we work on 5 of these and trying to identify which of these intelligences have. Now normally it is done through survey, asking the interest of the person and so on, but we were directly looking into brain, asking them to certain activity, monitoring it, and then identify which ones of these are stronger. For example, somebody like say Ramanujan will have very good logical intelligence but maybe very poor in everything else. Okay? These are called laser sharp focus. Some are very good in many things, so that's called sharp searchlight intelligence. That means they're very good in many things, but they have problems. They don't know which ones to do. If they're good in too many things, they are very good in school, colleges, they get awards, but in the career they get confused. Should I be doing music? Should I be doing physics? So then one has to decide where you should go, or you do combine those capabilities together. The children with ADHD, this is a big problem. Sometimes we don't even know whether my child has ADHD and so on. Now, of course, there's more expertise in the country, but 20 years back, 30 years back, we didn't know. We will just say that, oh, this fellow is dumb. Okay? We'll use some general term. ADHD has become very wide across the country and world. Now, sometimes ADHD does not come by itself. It is also mixed with other mental health challenges. For example, autism is another one. Okay? So what we have done is that we have looked at either children with pure ADHD or ADHD mixed with autistic spectrum disorder, autism spectrum disorder. We have 3 classes of these. Shweta has been working on this. He just submitted a thesis. Here what we do is that we give a sound wave which is slightly different in 2 years. So for example, if I give 500 Hz in 1 year and 503 Hz in another year, the difference between the 500 and 503 is 3 Hz. That's the beat wave it creates. In physics we learn that. And by that we can control the brain. So if you're not getting sleep, like yesterday I met a lady, she said, I hardly get sleep. By the time I'm trying to get sleep, it's like morning. Okay? And probably she has a young baby, just 1 year old. She's come back to job, and I'm sure that she'll be suffering badly because of this. So what we do, we give them something which will put her to deep sleep. I have other techniques also. If you're interested, you can let me know. I can help you with other techniques also. So, but same thing we use to improve the learning of the child by focusing on different frequencies. So brain responds to the stimuli from outside. We had to go to different places, collect data, meet students and teachers and psychologists and so on. And what we saw that in the pure ADHD cases, 63% cases have shown improvement. In those with ADHD and minor autistic spectrum disorder, only 31% cases have shown improvement. And those who have ADHD plus large autistic disorder, very little improvement was seen. So very good. If pure ADHD, we see a lot of improvement. Pure ADHD with slight ASD with some improvement, but large ASD we don't see much improvement. There's another thesis that's been given PhDs, Manasa, Dr. Manasa, where actually we use audio and visual stimulus at the same time, combine this together, and we see improvement in certain cases. I'll not go into those details because shortage of time. And we focus at 2 groups. One was young children from age of say 8 to 12, and the other was college students, because these are the ones which are available to us more, young adults as we call them. And we work on all of them to improve their learning and so on. Last part of this is disorder of consciousness, where people, for example, in coma, vegetative state and so on, they are there. They don't know, nobody knows what is going on in their mind. So in fact, 2 experiments I had done in Delhi only. One was at AIMS and one was another private medical college here. And then one I was doing in Ahmedabad. There's a Nirma University and the previous vice chancellor of that was in this position. So many people are in coma, we can't do much there. There are some people who are slightly above coma, that's called vegetative state. And there's a special part of that is called minimally conscious state. This was not known earlier. In that case, typically they can hear us, but they cannot express. So what we are trying to do is to get them to communicate what they are feeling. Okay? And in this case, we do 3D brain mapping. So one work is going on right now. I tried in 2012-13, I could not succeed. But you see, science is always, failure and success are linked together. You cannot just because you failed once doesn't mean you give up. So we restarted this work. One researcher is working on that. This was data, the left side one, I think very close to this place, there was a gentleman who was in vegetative state. We tried on him. This other guy is in Hyderabad. What we do in this case is look at the brain activity, we ask them to imagine certain scenes which give very different brain patterns. Look at the 3D brain patterns, we try to get them communicate yes and no by imagining two different scenes. And if you can do that, then you can ask them questions and if they can communicate yes and no by imagining those scenes, then we establish communication. That was the effort we are trying. We will continue with this part. I think I will not go into definitions, but I'll just tell that brain-computer interface can be classified as a passive BCI or active BCI, where passive BCI means I'm not getting any feedback from the person, active means there's a feedback and sometimes there's a hybrid system. The another way is by looking at invasiveness. For example, non-invasive, like what we are doing non-invasive, I don't need to do any surgery and so on. But invasive means I need to do something, put something inside. And sometimes there are hybrid systems. And it can be used for many, many purposes. Some of them I've talked about. In fact, many people connect to me, like there's a professor right now is not able to speak properly. He can barely write, but his voice is just very difficult to understand. So his doctor is in touch with me, who knows me. Work on the globe, for example, this gentleman lost his hand-wrist movement because there was no communication of brain in this. So now that nerves have been bypassed to allow him to operate his wrist. For example, you see this movement, you can see this movement is all being done by directly taking signal from brain and giving it to the wrist, bypassing the intermediate link. Okay? The brain gate experiment using which the person is able to eat and so on. Elon Musk Neuralink is very popular. One man and one woman recently in July has been trying this out. In this case, you have to do surgery and insert things inside. There is another company which has a more success, so they actually don't need to do surgery. Just like angioplasty is done, a stent is put inside. Similar technique used to insert this device inside the brain. And they're actually ahead of Neuralink, but Elon Musk is so famous, people know more about this. And this was tried by this gentleman, Graham, first time. And there's another gentleman who is trying this out. So there are a number of work going on where actually insert things inside the brain and get people to operate and do things which are not possible. This is the first meeting of brain-computer interface standardization that I attended as India's representative. That time there was one from India, one from America, and rest all were Chinese. Okay? But things have changed now. Of course, China is still doing a wonderful job. I was there last year in China. Some of them could not come this time because they didn't get visa. Other people have Korea, other people have come. So to conclude the talk, both invasive and non-invasive BCI are playing an important role in rehabilitation as well as learning. Now what we are expecting that BCI may become more pervasive than pacemakers, and there is a commercialization aspect of this. That's why standardization process is going on. China has taken the lead. I'm just going to meet the minister on this discussion only, that what India should do. China has launched a brain-computer interface mission, national mission. We are always behind, so we are trying to request that. That's the reason I'm rushing. This BCI can also provide solutions for assisted, augmented assisted communication, environmental control, wheelchair, and so on and so forth. And Indian researchers, of course, should focus by academia and medical people coming together. Medical people don't have time, so people like me who can get with them, they are very happy to help you out. So I'll stop at this point. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so now the house is open for interaction and question answers, so you please.
Any one or two quick questions? I don't have time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. One announcement to be made. There is one announcement to be made before that.
All the participants for poster presentation are requested to go to room number 32.
Abhi? Or after the session? Yep. after the session. So yeah, questions from students?
Somebody was raising hand there. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. So I want to ask that BCI technologies can also be applied in everyday life for the children without disabilities as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for example, you can, as I said, the learning can be improved. But that is actually you practice certain things, look at your brain. And once you learned what is to be done, then you continue doing that. You don't need to always put this on brain. But yeah, suppose you want to say you're a teacher and the students are sitting here, and some students are not focusing, you can come to know which ones are not focusing on this, if they are willing to put it there. Or you make a movie and you want to see whether the audience is getting bored or they're excited, you can actually put these devices before you release the movie and identify which ones are there, or you make a creative work and so on. So a lot of such things can be done.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, what inspired you personally to move from gesture-based systems into brain-computer interface research?
Actually, I focus on problems, so but to be frank, brain-computer interface happened because a journalist made a wrong news. I'd given a talk in Patna Medical College, and I talked about gesture-based. इशारों से चलने वाली उपकरण. What he did was wrote विचारों से चलने वाली उपकरण, and he put it on front page, highlighted. And I said, oh God, what has this guy done? And then for 2-3 days I was feeling bad. But I said, now that he's made a mistake, let me prove him right. So that's how I got into this.
Yeah, question from
Last question.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. I'm Maitreyi from Zoology second year. Sir, I just have a curiosity that how does brain CPAL system helps in actually helping the people with severe motor disabilities, like the that case you talked about of Mr. Suresh?
Yeah, so what happens is that suppose your motor movements are not there, and so you can use this with some other equipment to operate things. Okay, like in his case, he could operate computers. Okay, somebody can operate a wheelchair, for example. So that it depends on every case, and always brain-computer interface has not to be used. It's not that always use that. You look at each person, like Sarita Dwivedi, who had both hands are not there, one leg is there. What we did was the only one leg that she has. She uses that for painting, everything she does. But just now call her, she'll pick up phone in her one leg and talk to me. Okay, so and what she does, she will look at this. And she looks, okay, the person I want to talk, she'll throw this phone, catch it here, and start talking to me. Okay? So each person, you have to look at the ability of the person, and whether brain-computer interface is required or not depends on the situation.
Sir, just a personal question. My Nana, he recently met with an accident, and his left side of the body just got paralyzed, and he could not remember some of the things, like he could not remember my name, and he was not able to speak properly. So any suggestions like what we could
can discuss separately. You can scan this, or you can text from Bharati my number.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful talk. Although I also have few questions, but maybe I interact with you. And I think that's your WhatsApp number also. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you so much. And let's once again, thank the speaker. Now let's move to the second. The speaker is not here, but he has sent his presentation. So he is Dr. Sachin Kumar, and he is assistant professor in Department of Computer Innovation Center, Cluster Innovation Center, University. And he also did his PhD from Department of Computer Science, University of Delhi. And his specialization is in AI, smart cities, smart buildings, and governance. And after listening to his talk, you can, you can send your messages, right,
and the questions will be forwarded to him. And he has published more than 40 research articles in the reputed international journals and conferences, and has co-authored 2 books, including Digital Transformations and Artificial Intelligence and Societies, Opportunities and Challenges. He has led and contributed to several projects which are funded by Government of India, and is of course managing both PhD and undergraduate teams. And he has both the experiences, like it includes industry experience as a software developer, and then the academic experience as well. And he's an active participant in international associations, conferences, technical bodies, and he is recognized for his interdisciplinary approach for leveraging AI for societal challenges. And his work bridges academia, policy and industry, and he has designed educational programs, and there's a lecture series also, AI lecture series. And he is one of the policy makers also for this, that where the AI will lead to India in future. And now we will listen to his talk. And if you, as again I'm saying that if you have any questions, you can ask, somebody can note it down, and then maybe it will be forwarded to him. Okay, so let's start his talk now.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me for this wonderful workshop in Maitreyi College. I would like to congratulate organizers of the conference, principal of the college, for inviting such a wonderful conference on a relevant topic. I am Dr. Sachin Kumar, and I'll be delivering my lecture about artificial intelligence and its social impact. And my apologies because I could not attend the event physically because I'm traveling, and I'm doing here and there, so it was not possible for me to attend. So I would like to give you the brief introduction about my talk. And the talk is about AI for social impact. Let's get started. Okay, so we will be discussing in this presentation about the digital transformation, digital society, what is artificial intelligence, what are the development of artificial intelligence which are taking place. We'll discuss about social impact of artificial intelligence, social and ethical issues related to artificial intelligence, and some case studies on ethical issues of artificial intelligence which we need to address to make sure that artificial intelligence is used positively for our society. So we start our discussion with ancient times, where our society was in hunting and gathering phase, and what we can do is we can divide the whole period of our human history into 4 parts. First, we can say that it was hunting and gathering society. Second one was agrarian society. Third is industrialized society, and fourth one is information knowledge society or digital society, in which we are presently living or moving towards that. So in hunting society, the basic purpose was to survive because environment was hostile and we had no notion of future, no notion of the spare time so that we can think creatively and do all other type of stuff. So it was only and only about the survival. Then some technological revolutions took place, and we moved into the agrarian society, where we started a settled way of living. And then again, culture started, traditions started, we started living in communities, tribe, we formed rule, regulations. And then again a technological revolution took place which led us to the industrialized society. which completely transformed the way we were living in agrarian society. And now we have institutions, we developed educational institutions, we developed working institutions, we developed a different kind of economy which was driven by the industries, factories around the world, in which we were importing raw material, raw goods, and then developing a finished products and then selling them across the world. This also led to the development or colonization of the world by the countries which were advanced in the industrialized phase. Then now we are moving into the information and knowledge society. This has again been driven by the latest technological developments such as computing, electronics, information and communication technology, artificial intelligence, and all around developments and products, software, social media developed over these platforms. So with this, what is happening is that if we take into consideration what we were transferring, so initially we were transforming the material, then we transformed in the whole human society journey energy, and now we are transforming the data and information in the present phase. So we need to understand that why it is important. We are now in a phase where we are improving in different stages such as digitalization and digital transformation. When we talk about digitization, this phase actually includes only that we have information which is in physical format and we are trying to digitize that information. For example, we have notes, class notes, registers or attendance sheets. Now we are converting those sheets or those documents into the digital format, like in images or PDF files, and storing them in some drive in the digital format. So this is digitization. Then comes the making of the processes which are transforming the information, which are transporting the information, which are changing information, improving information, doing all sorts of processes on this information. That process is called digitalization. This is the revolution in which we started developing softwares which automated our processes so that we can improve our efficiency and the productivity. And now we are in the phase of digital transformation where our individual institutions are already digitalized and digitized, but now they are coming together. They are trying to solve problem in a very innovative and in a new value creation format so that more efficiency, more productivity can be harnessed by the human beings. We can take examples of how admissions are taking place in India, how examinations are being conducted, how we are transporting ourselves from one place to another place using apps like Uber and Ola. So these type of things are digital transformation. So what we are living, or we have started living in the digital society, which is driven by the digital technologies, data driven by digital technologies, solutions, tools developed by the digital technologies, and the changes taking place due to them in our society. So we are now discussing and witnessing circular economy, digital finance, sustainable society, inclusive society, smart cities, secure cities, sustainable cities, schools, digital services, sustainable mobility. So everything is all around digital transformation and the digital technologies to make a new transformation in our society by going from the physical and manual processing of the information to digital information, and then utilizing artificial intelligence to make intelligent decisions in those phases of the processing of information. So this all started with the artificial intelligence concept when it was started in 1950s, and people started thinking about, can we develop machines which are intelligent so that we can utilize the information, we can take insights from the information, we can extract useful insights, information, and from the information and reflections, so that we can take better decisions, and then we again improve efficiency and productivity of our processes at individual level, at society level, or at governance level. So in this direction, our people started thinking, scientists started thinking about that, how do we define artificial intelligence and how do we go about it. So they actually witnessed 4 types of thinking in which can we develop machines which are thinking only, or can we develop machines which are acting? So overall, when these discussions took place and they observed that there is problem in each and every section or every stage if we take into. So the better stage would be that we need to develop machines or the systems or the tools which are actually taking decisions, working or executing decisions and doing work in rational manner, not in completely human manner or emotional manner, but in the rational manner. Whatever information they have at that present point in time, they take that information and then utilize that information, process that information and take a rational decision. So when we talk about artificial intelligence is very, in simple terms, we can say that it is a computer science field which is responsible for making machines intelligent enough to make their own decisions, work as a human beings. You do or use their intelligence. So basically artificial intelligence is a domain which is helping us to study intelligence, human intelligence, biological intelligence, whatever way you want to call it, and then utilize that understanding, those principles, those theories to develop intelligent machines, intelligent tools, intelligent systems, intelligent processes all around us, and ultimately contributing to a better way of organizing our society, better way of organizing individuals, and better way of utilizing processes so that we can harness full potential, we can harness full abilities, capabilities of individuals and the systems all around us and improve our efficiency and productivity. So all this started by the man Alan Turing, who actually published initially one paper in Oxford journal Mind, that can machine think, and this paper became revolutionary and it started the journey of artificial intelligence. He also gave Turing test, which means that how do we identify if machine is able to demonstrate the intelligence or not. So according to the Turing test, suppose we are as evaluator sitting and we are trying to evaluate one human being and computer system or the machine, and we don't know in which room human being is there, in which room computer system is there, and we are sending them instructions and getting result after the processing from both the rooms, but we don't know in which room which machine is there or in which room human being is there. And when we get the output, we try to evaluate which one is good or which one is coming from machine or which one is coming from human being. And if we are not able to evaluate or identify that this answer is from the machine, this answer is from human being, then it means machine has demonstrated or developed that level of intelligence which is equivalent to the human intelligence or biological intelligence. So this was the Turing test initially, which helped in deciding or evaluating the machine performance in terms of the intelligence. All around us we have different concepts of artificial intelligence like knowledge-based systems, computer vision, intelligent agent. Artificial intelligence is not a linear subject, it is interdisciplinary as well as very multidimensional subjects, because there are several aspects of intelligence, and for each aspect a different type of artificial intelligence is developed by the scientists and the innovators working in that particular domain. So then we have natural language processing, that is also again part of artificial intelligence, affective computing, which deals with recognizing, understanding and simulating emotions in machine, smart big data, utilizing artificial intelligence to identify the big research work, or you can say the extracting useful information from the big data all around us, that is in high volume, high speed and in high veracity and in diversity. So we have also embedded AI, intelligent robotics. All these are part of the AI concepts, or you can say the considered as driven by the artificial intelligence in different domains. We have seen artificial intelligence development like self-driving car, facial recognition systems, ChatGPT, large language models, and even artificial anchors, develop very good machines, or you can say the healthcare systems in which we are able to detect diseases which were very difficult to detect in the initial phase now with the help of artificial intelligence. All these things are happening with the help of artificial intelligence, and it is transforming our society. And similarly, artificial intelligence can also impact society for the social good. It means we can also utilize artificial intelligence for improving the quality of life, quality of the society in which we are living. And that's why artificial intelligence is being looked into. How do we utilize artificial intelligence to achieve sustainable development goals, which are 17 goals identified by United Nations, and countries around the world, they are trying to achieve those goals by 2030. So artificial intelligence is also coming into the picture and helping countries, institutions, public, private, to achieve these goals and contribute to make this world a better place. So there are applications of artificial intelligence in gaming, music, technology, medical science, communication, programming, robotics, computer vision. Everywhere now you will be starting seeing the impact of outcome of the artificial intelligence developments and tools. So we can see in future that our intelligent classrooms, we can see the future, in future smart homes, which will be not just sensor driven, but will be completely driven by the convenience and the requirement of a particular person. We have seen developments in terms of the assistants, virtual assistants available to us from different companies. They are utilizing artificial intelligence. Then we can also utilize artificial intelligence to predict poverty, which we require. If we do manually, then we need human resources, we need financial resources of thousands of crores for a particular country like India to go whole household to household and then utilize that data to make policies and program to make better outcome for the governance, for the better living conditions and the economic opportunities for the citizens. So that can also be a better way of doing, utilizing artificial intelligence, which was actually published and which was demonstrated in one of the particular country in African region, where they actually utilized the data of mobile service carriers, network service carriers, such as in our country Airtel, Jio, where everybody was, more than 95% population was utilizing these carriers, and then utilizing the call record data by maintaining the privacy also. They actually predicted quite accurately that which area is poor, what type of poverty is there, and how we can do the targeted monitoring of the poverty and then give economic benefit to poor areas and improve their conditions. So these type of things can happen, and artificial intelligence can be utilized to develop these things. So, and then artificial intelligence can also come into picture by addressing issues related to the climate action, climate change, which is actually a very important issue at present point in time across the world for the humanity to address. As even in India, we have seen recently the types of flood, the types of cloudburst, the types of things, negative things, or you can say the threatening things for the humanities are taking place. And we can avoid those things by utilizing artificial intelligence and doing some social interventions and changing our thinking and the mindset about it. But in terms of artificial intelligence, we also have a few issues related to artificial intelligence, like loss of control, that if everything will be done by artificial intelligence agents, artificial intelligence tools and the machines and the softwares, then what will be the significance of the human being? So this is a very good question and very important question which countries are now trying to address. And one of the example can be that we need to then universalize the universal basic income, so that if people who are losing job because of the artificial intelligence, they can also sustain their life. We have issues related to security and privacy, we have issues of unemployment, we have issues of fairness, where artificial intelligence systems are behaving discriminatory in nature to particular section of society, because the data which they are utilizing, that is actually coming from society, and it is actually the pattern which they are learning and then amplifying that type of discrimination in society. We need to develop a responsible artificial intelligence. We need to develop artificial intelligence which is not a black box, but it is explain, and each and every decision, how it is taking that decision is logically driven, and we understand that thing. So for example, fairness, we can take example of Amazon, where Amazon developed an artificial intelligence tool to screen the candidates which were applying for a particular post, and what this actually resulted into was that it actually discriminated against women candidate by rejecting the CVs of women candidate as compared to the men with a similar profile. So this type of issues in artificial intelligence systems have been observed, and people have started highlighting them and started working towards how to address these issues, because system should be fair in our society. Otherwise, there will not be any point of implementing artificial intelligence to solve societal problems in our world. So we need to develop our ethical guidelines, responsible practices, and we need to move towards responsible artificial intelligence. We need a responsible automation, job structuring, then skill training to the people who are losing their job, and reskilling the population, improving the education system completely overhauling according to the challenges posed by artificial intelligence. We need to work on algorithmic accountability and transparency, and we need to also understand maintaining meaningful human control. So thank you very much. This was my lecture for you. I hope you will learn a lot about the issues which I have highlighted or which we have discussed in here. And thank you very much for inviting me. If you have any questions, you can actually write back to me on my social media platforms at Prof. Sachin Kumar. I'm available there. I will be trying to address those questions. Thank you very much, and thank you organizers for inviting me for this wonderful event. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Yeah, you can note down the address, email IDs and this Facebook, this thing, to post your questions. And it was a very interesting talk because, he started, the speaker started with a very basic concept of AI, then shifted to the applications and pros and cons of AI. So, although he is not here, let's thank for him. And Dr. Aditi, you please convey through our email the session was good and we are thankful to him, and it's a very enlightening session. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, and I'm thankful to the organizers for giving me the opportunity to chair this session, and once again thank you sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Ranjan, for that insightful lecture, and thank you, Professor Kaur, for chairing the session and guiding the discussion. We sincerely thank Dr. Sharma for sending us his talk despite his busy schedule. It truly enriches today's session. I also extend my gratitude to the participants for your thoughtful engagement and questions. I now invite all the participants to join the postal session, which will begin shortly in room number 32. For the next technical... Okay, here only. For the next technical session, I request Dr. Jyotsna ma'am to kindly take over. Thank you, everyone.
I request all the participants to please settle down. Respected dignitaries, esteemed jury members, dear colleagues, and our enthusiastic participants, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the poster presentation session of the 5th Annual International Conference EQUINOX-2025. This year, we are delighted to share that we have received an encouraging number of poster submissions from students and researchers across diverse disciplines. After a rigorous shortlisting, 19 posters have been divided into two groups. Group 1, posters from the fields of sciences, showcasing innovations, experiments, and research outcomes in the natural and applied sciences. And we have Group 2, in which we have posters from the domain of social sciences, presenting critical insights, analysis, and reflections on the interplay between society, technology, and human values. We are deeply honored to have with us today our esteemed jury members who bring with them the years of expertise and academic distinctions. They will be evaluating the posters not only on their scientific rigor, but also on the creativity, clarity of the presentation, and the relevance of the theme of the conference. I take this opportunity to welcome our respected jury members for sciences. We have Professor Swati Agarwal. She is a professor in Department of Chemistry, Motilal Nehru College, University of Delhi. She completed her MSc and PhD in chemistry from the University of Delhi, specializing in physical chemistry. With nearly 2 decades of teaching experience, she has contributed extensively to the research in the areas of polymeric materials, coordination chemistry, and bioactive metal complexes, publishing in reputed journals. She has been honored with several awards, including the Teaching Excellence Award in 2014, the Professor R.P. Mitra Gold Medal for MSc Chemistry, and multiple distinctions during her academic journey. Dr. Agarwal has co-authored books in chemistry, including Contributions to NIAS Chemistry Textbooks and Practical Chemistry by McGraw-Hill. Her active participations in conferences and research projects reflects her dedication to both innovating teaching and edge-cutting research. So I request Professor Meena Yadav to please felicitate Professor Swati Agarwal. Thank you, Professor Meena. And secondly, we have Dr. M. Abdul Karim, who is currently working as Associate Professor of Biochemistry at IGNOU University. He has received multiple fellowships from national and international science organizations like TRDS Kothari Postdoctoral Fellowship Award from University Grants Commission, Government of India, IISc Insat Nasi Teacher Fellowship and Visiting Fellowship from IISc GNCSR. He has 17 years of teaching experience and 22 years of research experience in the field of biochemistry. He authored and co-authored several research articles, books, and chapters with publishers like Pearson, Cambridge, Springer, and elsewhere. To his credit, he worked as an assistant professor at King Saud University, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He has completed various projects from the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, another from UGC, Government of India, and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ayush, one of the academic consultancy project from Department of Science and Technology. He has organized, participated and presented in quite a few seminars, conferences and workshops. In addition to that, Dr. Karim has been invited here for various scientific journals. Let us put our hands together to give him a big round of applause. And I request Professor Meena to please felicitate Dr. M. Abdul Karim. Thank you so much. And we have group 2 presentations for social sciences. We'll be starting them soon. To our participants, I would like to say that your efforts, your creativity and dedication are what truly made this session meaningful. We hope this platform provides you not only recognize, but also the valuable feedback and new directions for your future. So each group, please note that you will be allotted 5 minutes to present your posters and followed by 5 minutes of interaction with the jury and their question answer sessions. All presenters now may proceed to the presentation area during the session. They can interact and showcase their researches. So let's begin our session for the sciences, and we'll be proceeding for the social sciences in a couple of minutes. Please be around. Thank you. respected dignitaries, esteemed jury members, and dear colleagues and our enthusiastic participants. Now we have our esteemed jury for social sciences with us. Let's all put our hands together and give a big round of applause for our jury, Dr. Payal Nagpal and Dr. Rajlakshmi ji. Dr. Payal Nagpal is a professor in Department of English, Shanki Devi Memorial College, University of Delhi. Her areas of interest are literary theory, modern drama and Indian English poetry. She combines and introduces the Indian section of Annual Bibliography of Literature, Critic and Empire. Today, along with Sharma Narayana, theatre person, literary critic and poet, her publications include Shifting Paradigms in Culture on the Plays of Jean Genet, Text and Performance, a theatrical view, a volume on drama studies co-authored with Anand Prakashan, and Environment and Memory Keepers Poetry Collections. She has contributed entries to the Royal Encyclopedia of Indian Writing in English. So I request Professor Gopi, ma'am, to please felicitate Dr. Payal. Thank you so much. Also, we have Dr. Vasiraju Rajalakshmi, who is the professor at the Department of Sociology, Janaki Devi Memorial College. She received her PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University and has been the postdoctoral fellow at ICSSR. Her publications include Language and Ethnic Identity in India, the Upper Publishing House 2010, and Society and Inside Jawahar Publishing House 2011. She has published many articles and contributed e-content for MOOC as well as senior secondary grades. She is a regular panelist at Rajya Sabha TV and she has led many research projects and is co-director of the Center of Gender Equality Studies, JDM College. She has served as a consultant to the Delhi government in the Women's Empowerment Cell and conducts workshop on gender sensitization for Delhi Police. Thank you so much, ma'am, to be here. And I request Dr. Gopi to again felicitate Professor Rajalakshmi. To our participants, I would like to say your efforts, your creativity and dedication is what truly makes the session meaningful. Please note that each group will get 5 minutes for the presentation and followed by 5 minutes for the interaction with the jury. All presenters now must proceed to the area in the nearby lobby where the posters are ready. So I request the judges and participants to please move for the interactive session.